Connected service disabilities tops out at just over 5.4 million veterans. Our total number of homeless veterans, just a tick over 68,000, and our veterans comprise over 10% of our homelessness in the United States. Other facts go on is their mental health, their likelihood of becoming homelessness. North Carolina is home to 700,000 veterans. We're the 8th largest veteran population in the nation and the 4th largest active duty military presence nationwide. With that, so there are 700,000 veterans in the state of North Carolina. There are only 117 accredited county VSO officers to serve those veterans. We have to do more. So the contributions and sacrifice made by service members have been vital in maintaining the freedoms enjoyed by our citizens. They experience high levels of difficulties transitioning to civilian life. So what can we do? Why are we talking about this? Cleveland County government will be hosting a Veterans Resource Connection at the LeGrand Center in Shelby from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Wednesday, November 8th. This event is free to the public, and it's free for our veterans, their spouses, and caregivers, and the general public to attend. We will have local nonprofits and businesses, veteran health and wellness services, and statewide organizations will be on site to answer questions and share information. This vital connection is an opportunity for us to give back to our veterans and their families. So we have a lot more information about this, but I want to show you all where you can go and help us spread the word. If you go to our website and come down to our news center, here's all the information about our Veterans Resource Connection. Currently, here's the list of all the vendors that we have confirmed who will be there to offer services to our veterans. So the question is why? Why are we doing this? So commissioners and I saw this film saw it this August. It was done by the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners and their production company. And here is a trailer of the movie that will be played several times throughout the event.
The hardest part about that one. Once I got out, everything was like, facing towards the dark pit of like alcohol addiction, and that's exactly where I went. I used my last tank of gas, started driving, nowhere to go, and ran out of gas and around North Carolina.
Military chiefs, train that blew up, and also trains.
Veterans are an asset to the community.
Want people to know that we're here and that we're here for veterans.
We talk about it in the military, is that we don't give a man on balance.
We care, but we care about what they're doing for us. Get involved.
Even today, we still have some things that we deal with.
When you are in service, you can lean on your sisters and your brothers. You've got your same family here out in the community. You don't need to go through things alone.
That's our why, ladies and gentlemen. That's our why. Why are we doing this? So how can you help? How can you help? If you have a veteran, a family member, somebody who needs some assistance, bring them. Are you a local business that can offer a service to a veteran? Contact me. Come. We can do this and we can be successful and help our veterans if we come together as a community. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you all there.
Thank you, Phil. Let's see, you said it's November the 8th, and what time again?
November 8th, starting at 9 to 4. One of our Veteran Service Officers, Julie Krotz, is here. She is working tirelessly along with our small committee. This has been a heavy lift, but a very rewarding lift. She is working on bringing more services from the state level. We're working on trying to get a rater here. Mental health counselors will be there on site. If we have it, we're going to support it, and we're going to bring it to you all. Julie, you have anything you want to add?
I'm just excited that Cleveland County is hosting this event. I think it's the first time we've ever done this, and a lot of veterans have already provided a lot of positive feedback about coming to this.
Thank you, guys. Ronnie?
Madam Clerk?
Yes.
We do have some flyers, right?
Yes.
If
we have-
anybody here that has a building or an office or somewhere that they like to display some of these, Madam Clerk will help get those after the meeting.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
also the Veterans Council that we've got is working on this, and Jill will tell you, they've been trying to get it going for a year or so, and it just so happened that, this popped up and this moved it ahead to get it, because they've got all the veterans organizations in the county gonna come together and help on this, so it's gonna be a very big thing.
Thank you. Anyone else? Dave, you got anything?
Yes.
All right. Mark, anything else?
No, sir, thank you.
Next item is the Minority Enterprise Development Week. At this time, I'll recognize Mr. Richard Hooker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the County Board of Commissioners. My name is Richard Hooker, and I want to first thank the Board of Commissioners for your continuous support of Minority Enterprise Development Week, which we often call Med Week. Many of you may remember from previous presentations that Minority Enterprise Development Week is an annual observance that recognizes outstanding achievements and accomplishments in our minority communities, and especially among our minority-owned businesses. Med Week also, this year is also a milestone for Med Week in that it started in 1983, which means that this year represents 40 years that Med Week has been celebrated not only locally, but nationally. And so we are approaching a new milestone in terms of the continuous support as well as the achievements and accomplishments of Med Week. This year we have selected the theme, New Wave of Entrepreneurship, the Under 40 Leaders. This year we were attempting to recognize those businesses who happen to be under 40 years of age. Why? Because they have also contributors and key drivers of the economic success of our community. Plus, they are what we call our emerging talents, those who will be future suppliers and benefactors of the success of our local communities. We also would like to note that we will kick off Med Week this year on October the 21st, Saturday, October the 21st. We will have a community conversation at Faith Harvest Church. Our focus will be on the digital economy and broadband expansion. And then Med Week will conclude on October the 26th with our annual awards dinner, where we will recognize those under 40 businesses who will again make outstanding contributions in our communities. Let me conclude by using, again recognize, I apologize, to recognize some of our board members and Emerging Leaders Academy participants. We have Steve Pageant, who's a member of our board of directors. We have the Honorable Sharon Martin, who serves as our vice chair of our Business Development Center. And we have a couple of our emerging leaders participants. We have Giovanna Hopper and Miss Erica Brooks, who are participants in our Leadership Academy, because we also recognize the importance and the need to groom and cultivate future leaders in our community. And with that, I'd like to conclude with the words of one of my good friends, Mr. Johnny Hutchins, who often reminds me that if it is to be, it's up to me. So I want to thank again the county commissioners for your support and recognizing this year Minority Enterprise Development Week. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have, I'm going to recognize the clerk. She's going to read a proclamation, then we'll ask any commissioners for any comments.
Minority Enterprise Development Week 2023. Whereas Minority Enterprise Development Week has reached a new milestone since 1983 in commemorating the important role and contributions minority business enterprises have made to the national and local economy over the past 40 years. And whereas this year's theme, The New Wave of Entrepreneurship, the Under 40 Leader, celebrates and recognizes the unique, talented, and resilient leadership of the next generation of future leaders and entrepreneurs who represent an emerging sector of entrepreneurship committed to the pursuit of the American dream. And whereas the annual observance in Cleveland County will again bring together small business owners, elected officials, students, nonprofit groups, faith-based leaders, and community stakeholders to honor the accomplishments of minority-owned businesses, community partners, and organizations who help make an invaluable difference in our local community. And whereas the Cleveland County Business Development Center, in collaboration with the Cleveland Emerging Leaders Academy and other local sponsors, have teamed up to raise awareness, promote civic engagement, and encourage self-sufficiency, and help improve the quality of life for all citizens in Cleveland County through technology, broadband expansion, and the digital economy. And whereas the state of North Carolina also recognizes minority-owned businesses as key drivers of economic success and celebrates their achievements and encourages participation in programs that honor their contributions and impact economic opportunities locally and statewide. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Cleveland County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim October 21st through the 28th, 2023, as Minority Enterprise Development Week in Cleveland County in recognition of the cooperative efforts of the above sponsoring organization and individuals to enhance, promote, and support the success of minority-owned businesses and community partners. Adopted this the 7th day of October, 2023.
Thank you, man. Commissioners, anybody have any comments?
Just like to thank you, Mr. Hooker, for your leadership for the past 40 years, especially helping the younger people learn leadership roles, because they are our future. And,
Yes.
You and I may not be here in 10 years, but you're bringing them up to keep on keeping on. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I second that. That's your tireless, continuous work to do great things with, and now the young people too.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, I just like to say thanks. We have been around a long time, haven't we? And y'all did a good job in giving your group too. We hope that we can continue on, as Steve, with the small business incentives and things. You know, that's all working together, that the grassroots that we started on, and you can start seeing the fruits of our labor.
Yes.
One thing I've said since I've started is that when we get everybody in the county working together, we can do anything that we set our mind to. In the beginning, I didn't realize how important that was until we started going to some of the NACO conferences, and we talked to people from all other counties all over the United States. And we hear horror stories how different segments of the county don't work together. But that's the reason Cleveland County is such a great place to live, work, and play. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the county, good to see you as always. Here you go. I think they might want to get the pictures.
Y'all need to move 20.
Yes.
She put her glasses on this time. Thank you. Good to see you.
right, next section, or next item is public comment, Madam Clerk.
The public comment portion of a Board of Commissioners meeting is an opportunity for persons wishing to appear before the board to do so. Citizen speakers will be acknowledged in the order in which they signed up to speak and will address all comments to the board as a whole and not one individual commissioner. Speakers will address the board from the speaker's podium at the front of the room and will begin their remarks by stating their name and address. Discussion between speakers and members of the audience is not allowed. Public comment is not intended to require the board to answer any impromptu questions. Speakers are expected to be civil in their language and presentation and are prohibited from using profanity or making threats of violence or personal attacks against any person. All comments from the speakers shall be issue-oriented and directly related to a subject that the commissioners have oversight and authority. Each speaker is allotted 3 minutes to address the board. A speaker is not permitted to share, reserve, or relinquish any remaining time allocated to another speaker. Any comments where the primary purpose is to promote a business or candidacy shall not be allowed.
All right, thank you. The first one is Robert Williams.
My name is Robert Williams. My address is 814 East Stagecoach Trail. That's a Lawndale address, but I live in Fallston. I want to start off by answering the question Phyllis answered about the veterans. How can we help? My answer is that we remember what they fought for. We honor their sacrifice, and we fight tyranny wherever we find it. Now, what I signed up to talk about was the Justice Center project, and I have almost zero information to talk about because that's what has been made available to the public. I've done my own research. I just actually discovered the Justice Project, $90 million in the budget several years ago while I was looking for something else. That budget included $59 million from the state, then later another $5 million, and now another $40 million. So that, my calculation is that's $105 billion put up by the state. My estimation is that the county's going to have to put up at least that much. So I don't know where we're going to come up with it unless we raise taxes. And looking at the drawings and looking at some of the videos that I've seen, my estimate is that we have way underestimated what the cost of this is going to be. So hopefully I'll learn something later in this meeting when the one item on the regular agenda is about the Justice Center. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe the people that are watching will learn something. But I see a lot of cost ahead of us. I think what we've done is we took a project, everybody wanted something, and somebody along the way said, okay, we'll give you this and we'll give you anything you want. I think it spiraled way out of control. And I don't know where it's going to end up. Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Commissioners, you've been presented the consent agenda. If there's no items to be pulled, then I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion or questions? All right, hearing none, all in favor will say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? All right, motion carries unanimous. Next item on the agenda is the Cleveland County Justice Center Amendment Number 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. If it pleases the board, what you have before you this evening is the aggregate piers as a split out as an early work package as part of the construction management at risk model. The total construction cost is approximately $1.6 million for this individual segment, and then from there the foundation and then the steel work and so on. But this is the aggregate piers that will be used as the pilings for the foundation. and it is staff's recommendation that we approve it at this time.
All right. Commissioners, any discussion or questions? I have one, David. So this, as I understand it, this is within budget, the allotted budget for this segment of the contract for the project?
Yes, sir, it is.
Anyone else? All right, hearing none, then I need to ask for a motion to approve or deny the Justice Center amendment. This is an early work package for the GO or aggregate piers, as David has outlined.
I'll make a motion, we put this out to bids for the Justice Center Amendment 3 early work package.
I'll second it.
Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed will say no. Motion carries unanimous. We're down to board appointments. We have one board appointment. Madam Clerk?
Commissioners, you have the list of applicants in front of you. At this time, you will need to appoint 8 people to the Animal Services Advisory Board. In front of you, you have the list of applicants, their initial appointment dates, and specific seats that they qualify for each board.
Can we do them all at once?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I would like to suggest or appoint that we look at Dr. Luke Martin, Deputy Scott Lawrence, Allison Steele, Greg Trawick, Margaret Watson, Ginger Bullock, Sherry Crowder, and Janet Wisner.
Okay, in that motion, I just want to make sure that you want to align those names with the specific
With the
seats.
I didn't know if you needed me to say
Yes, ma'am,
that.
but that's okay, I got it.
Okay.
Yep.
And I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion second to appoint the list. Madam Clerk, you mind reading those off with the names and then the seats? so that we make
Absolutely.
sure?
What is up for recommendation is 1 licensed veterinarian with the initial appointment expiring December 31st, 2024, Dr. Luke Martin. 1 actively employed law enforcement officer, initial appointment will expire December 31st, 2024, Deputy Scott Lawrence. We have to appoint 1 member for a member of a hunting, gun, or dog organization. However, we had no application, so that spot will be vacant. We need 1 volunteer with an animal shelter or rescue organization. Initial appointment will expire December 31st, 2025. Recommended to appoint Allison Steele. 1 livestock owner, rancher, or county extension director. Initial appointment expires December 31st, 2025. Recommended Greg Trawick. 1 operator of an animal rescue organization. Initial appointment expires December 31st, 2025. Margaret Watson. 3 representatives of the general public. Initial appointment expires December 31st, 2026. Ginger Bullock, Sherry Crowder, Janet Wisnet.
All right, it's my understanding we had a motion and a second, right?
Yes, sir.
Bridge, so with that, or any other questions or discussion?
Well, I'm glad to see us reviving this. We had it going for a while, and then COVID seems to throw a monkey wrench in a lot of things, but I feel like this slate of officers will do us a good job in moving us forward.
Anyone else? If not, all those in favor will say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries unanimous. Now we're down to the end of the meeting, so the citizens watching and those in the room know the next meeting of the Cleveland County Board of Commissioners will be held on Tuesday, November the 7th, 2023, here at 6 p.m. in the Commissioners' Chambers. With that, I'll seek a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?